Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my weekly Wednesday class. I'm just trying to find you on my iPad. Just give me a few seconds. It's not coming up. Oh, there it is. I see you now. Wow, that took like a whole minute longer than normal. Hello everyone. So today is a stamp with me class. You guys get to stamp along with me if you were able to have time to cut up all your layers and everything. So this is a slower paced class, as slow as I can go anyway. And we're gonna do step by step. But before we get started, I just wanna make a few announcements because we're getting to the end of the month of December. Now, on the Stampin' Ink Designs group that you guys are on right now, I am hosting a winter-themed sampler swap. And you guys, a lot of you guys, I think we had 99 people last time because it's groups of 9 participate. And the only stipulation, if you guys want to sign up, make sure you go to the events tab. All of the information is there. We're all going to be using the same 3 colors so that everything coordinates. We start out with Pool Party, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then we're going to layer Basic Black, 3 by 3. That's going to go right on top of that one. And then the third layer is Whisper White, which will now be called Basic White. And this measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So all of your layers will have, or all of your squares will have 3 layers. And then you can stamp, you can use punches, die cuts, designer paper, as long as it's winter themed and not Christmas. This is all winter themed. Now you have until December 31st to sign up. And then you'll get the addresses of the 9 people in your group, and you just make your squares, mail them out, and swap. And then I'm going to host a little get-together where we can assemble our samplers together. So that's one announcement. My next one, I'm still offering 20% off during the month of December. I do this every year just to say thank you to all of my customers. And it's for orders of $60 or more with the host code. And then I mail you a check for the 20% discount along with a free card kit. And you're going to receive all of the pieces to make this card. You get a free card kit for placing an order with me. Tomorrow is my last day for you to sign up for my Merry Christmas Club for the month of January. I'm using the Snowman Season Bundle, which is the stamp set and the punch. Now, this is one of the cards that I showed you last time, and I just want to show you again in case you missed it. This is a Joy card fold, and you get 2 of each kit that I send you. You get a total of 8 card kits to create, and then $20 worth of products. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. And I also always include 2 bonus cards that you can create with your products. This one is not a kit, it's one of the bonus cards, and it's a Z fold. And I give you all of the instructions to create all of the cards that you get in your kits, plus the bonus cards. January 5th is almost here. You guys should be starting to receive your 2 catalogs. We have the new mini catalog. Now, as demonstrators, we have 2 mini catalogs each year now. Because this is January to June, we are calling this the JJ mini catalog, just so we'll know which one we're talking about. And then, of course, Celebration, where you earn some free products when you place orders. So for those of you that ordered from me in the last 6 months, your catalog should start arriving in the mail. Okay, now we're going to get started. So stamp with me. You guys, I guess I would need a thumbs up or a comment to let me know that you're stamping with me, so I'll know that people are participating. I am using a new stamp set, and now you guys could pick whatever stamp set you wanted because we're just using sentiments. This is a new stamp set out of the JJ mini catalog. You are amazing. And I'm actually using the hip hip hooray, 3 cheers for you, and the happy birthday. So I'm creating 2 birthday cards, but whatever you guys pick to use, you can make Christmas cards if you're still short on cards, masculine cards, whatever you want. Now I'm going to show you, you can see a little bit over here what my card was. So we're making 2 pocket cards today. We're making one in the horizontal and one in the vertical. Each one has a flap on the front and then a little pull-out section. So you can see there's my vertical one. And then this is my horizontal one. Oh, Margaret is saying you never found the supply list. I tagged you, Margaret. I did answer you, and I told you where to go. Anytime you guys see a Stamp With Me class on Facebook, always look for the events tab. Click on events, and you'll see it listed there, and all the supplies are under that particular event. You can always go back and watch the video later and follow along and replicate the cards also. Now so I'm using a brand new stamp set. I'm also using some pretty new paper. I thought this was perfect on these cards. This is some new paper called Flower and Field. It's from Celebration, and you can start earning this paper for free on January 5th with a $50 order. I wanted to show you the sheets, even though there's little samplers here. They all have a lot of black in them, but look how pretty. Okay, wait a minute, I got one too many. Oh, this one's a duplicate. Okay, so there's the 6 sheets on this side, all flower images. And then I'm gonna flip this over and look at the pretty side, the second side. You get some pretty colors. Now, what I want to mention while I'm showing you the designer paper, I also have sign-ups going on right now for a designer paper share. For those of you that don't understand the designer paper share, it's really expensive to buy all of the designer paper in a new catalog because we actually have a total of 15 packages of designer paper. That's a lot of paper. And what I do now, most demonstrators, when they do paper share, they cut the paper in 12 by 6, 6 by 6. I cut mine in 12 by 6, so you have a large piece to work with. And if the paper share, you need to sign up by the 28th. We have 15 total packages. So that gives you 60 sheets of 12 by 6 and 27 sheets of 6 by 6 because these are already cut. So it's a sampling of all of the packages that you see in the new catalog. So again, if you're interested in that, let me know. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna stamp. I'm gonna start out by actually doing the stamping on the sentiment. So if you guys can dig out, you should have a scrap piece of white. And the color I'm using today is Flirty Flamingo. So whatever you're using for a sentiment, you're gonna need the white and the 2-inch circle punch if you're following along. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp 2 of these. Oops, that one there, I went a little too hard on that one. I must have ate my Cheerios this morning. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 of those. Go ahead and cut your sentiment with whatever punch or die that you're using. So I'm going to have 1 for each card. Okay, there's my 2 sentiments. While I wait for you to do that, I'm all done with the 2-inch circle punch. I'm going to go ahead and show you what else I'm using. I'm using the detailed trio punch. We needed some tear and tape, some ribbon, and I'm using the Bumblebee in color ribbon. Some bling, and I'm using the 2020-2022 in color enamel dots. We needed dimensionals. Optional was a stapler. You can see at the top, I did staple my little pull out. I just like the look of the staple. Some people don't. So it's up to you if you wanted to use that or not. Okay, so let's go on, and we're gonna move on to the vertical card first, the one with the longer panel. So this is 11 by 4 1/4. You're going to bring in your scoring tool. And this one, you're gonna do 2 score lines. We're gonna score at 2 and 5 1/2. So again, 2 inches and 5 1/2. I'm gonna do one card at a time instead of trying to do both, just so you don't get confused. So I'm gonna bring both pieces in so you guys can see them. Now we're gonna go ahead and fold on the score lines. Fold the center one first, because then we're gonna fold the flap in the opposite direction. We want it to fold down. So this is what your card base looks like. Very easy. Now let me go over the other measurements. This is Whisper White 5 1/4 by 4. That goes with the card. Then we have some pieces that go with the insert. And I'm using Pretty Peacock for my color. The first layer on the insert is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then Whisper White, or the new basic white that will be out soon, 4 1/2 by 3. And then we have some designer paper. Now all I did with the designer paper, it's the same sheet and I just flipped it over. My first one measures 4 by 3 1/4, that's for the card. And then 4 by 1 3/4, that's also for the card. And then I have this little piece. Now this comes from the rectangle stitch die. So you have the whole set here that goes together. If I flip this over, these were the additional pieces and it's the smallest one right here. And you needed 2 of those, 1 for each card. If you don't have the dies, you can actually just cut a piece of cardstock, and that measures 2 1/2 by 1/2 inch. That's for the insert. And then a little piece of designer paper that measures 3 by 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the card first. I'm gonna use the corner rounder punch. Now if you don't have this punch, this serves 3 purposes. We've got the corner rounder, we've got a little corner flower that you can use, and then this is a punch, a little oval that you would use like on a tag. We're gonna cut round 2 of the top corners. Okay, so that's it on the white piece. Next, you're gonna do the card base. Again, the 2 top corners. And everything that we're doing with this card, we're gonna do with card number 2. So there's your 2 top corners. We are also gonna do the bottom of your flap. So if you have this folded, these 2 pieces right here, so the opposite end. And this punch cuts so nice. Now we need to do the same thing with the designer paper that's gonna go on the flap. We just need to do 2 of the corners. So this is the smaller one that goes on the card front. You're gonna round those 2 corners. And that's it on this one. We're gonna do some more when we get to the insert. Okay. Now I just need to go see. I wanna look at my comments to see if anyone is stamping with me today. Oh, I do see Mary is stamping and Tony is stamping. Great. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue the white piece on the inside first. That serves as a liner, because I thought, let's say you glued this together right now, you won't be able to glue the white piece in there. And I think if you just put this in there, it looks kind of plain. So I like the white because it makes the other colors pop. So we're going to glue that to the inside. Just like that. And then now we're going to glue make the pocket by using tear and tape. And you can use any glue of choice. I just opt to use the tear and tape. Only because you have motion going on when you take the card in and out. And I like to use tear and tape when there's motion, just so it doesn't fall apart. I usually burnish with my bone folder. And then I'm going to use my tool to remove the backing. And then you're just going to press that in place. And there's your pocket. So this will now fit on the inside. Okay, I'm just going to hold off a little bit, make sure everybody's caught up. Oh, Bev is watching today. That's okay, Bev. And if you decide you want to make these later, I would love for you guys to add photos of your projects too, so everyone can see, because it's just neat to see what everybody comes up with using the different designer papers and the different ink colors and ribbons. Okay, now we're going to take the larger piece of designer paper. And you're going to put that under the flap. Now you'll notice when you look at the front of my card, you'll see a shadow where my flap is. I like the flap to look more 3D-ish, so I glue it down with Stampin' Dimensionals just to add a little bit of height. So that's what I'm going to do next. We're going to glue that down with Dimensionals. I just think it looks cooler with the little, the height, and it adds a shadow, so you can see that there's two different layers there going on. Okay, so all we're gonna do now is fold that down. So see how that, you can see distinctively that that's raised, and I like that look. And then of course we're gonna add the other designer paper piece. Oh, Gloria likes my M&Ms. I always have M&Ms on my counter. That's my favorite snack. And I'm almost running out, so I need to go order another bag. Okay, so there's the beginnings of our pocket card. Now, when I dig out my ribbon, don't laugh, because I have bits and pieces everywhere. I just don't know if there's enough here to go around to make a bow. So I'm going to see if I can use this piece. Nope, that's too short. I'm hoping there's enough here. I did, oh, what was it? Oh, it's my in color share that I do. I cut my ribbon wrong, so I ended up having to waste a whole roll. So I'm trying to use up all the bits and pieces from cutting it wrong. So now I'm just going to wrap the ribbon around the whole card, so front and back. And then I'm going to create my bow. Again, I always make large loops and then I bring them in, tighten, and I like the size of that. If they're still too big, I just keep bringing them in and tightening. Now I'm going to cut at an angle. And it's funny, sometimes my tails end up like this one, sometimes they end up like this one. I still haven't figured out what I do wrong when I have my tail facing upwards, but I like this look too. Okay, I'm going to bring the bow all the way over to the left. And then we're going to use one of the sentiments that we've already stamped. Now, because I have a little bit of height here in the middle, I'm not going to add any dimensionals in the middle. I'm going to add at the top and at the bottom. That way it won't look bulky over the ribbon. Okay, so there's the pocket portion. I'm just going to hold off, make sure everybody's caught up, and then we're going to work on the insert. So I'm going to bring all those pieces in. So you can see that this card really doesn't take any more layers because the way you're folding the cardstock. It's still just a regular card base with two card folds. Or, yeah, two folds. Okay, now we're going to bring in the two pieces to make the insert. Again, we're going to round the corners at the top. Same thing on the white piece. Okay, and I'm just gonna hold off. Oh, everybody loves seeing my M&Ms. I wish I could share them with you. Oh, Gloria, I agree. She said the print on the paper is so pretty. I'm gonna bring these back in while people are catching up. Yeah, look how pretty these are. Just vivid colors. Look at the blue. We got some daisies. I mean, they're all, I love the black background. It just, everything just pops. Oh, and then wait a minute. Oh, this is the one I had 2 of. Do I have, yeah, I get 6 in here right now. This is like the field of flowers. So because it's called flower and field designer paper, this would be the field portion. It looks like fields of flowers. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and stamp the inside sentiment. This is the one I'm using, Hip Hip Hooray, 3 cheers for you. Again with the Flirty Flamingo ink. I'm just going to do that way at the bottom. The reason I'm doing it way at the bottom, if you put it too close to the top, when you tuck this in, you don't want it showing up here. And then if you, if it doesn't leave you enough room to add a little note or a signature, you could actually cut 2 layers of the white and add one on the back for this. And I didn't do that, but I probably will. Now I didn't even center this. I'm going to stamp this over. I was talking and I wasn't paying attention as usual. There, that's better. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this on the base. And like I always tell my customers, there's always 2 sides to every cardstock piece. Okay, so there's that. And when I put this in, when I started doing the project, I wanted something up here because it's a little plain. That's where I came up with the little strip of designer paper. So we're just going to stick that about where the bottom of the curve starts going straight. And then we're going to take the little cardstock rectangle, the stitched rectangle, and I'm just going to fold that in half. You can score it if you want to be perfect, but it comes out okay when you do it by just folding it. And I'm going to add that right in the center. And then I'm going to bring my stapler in. Let's see if I can get that nice and straight. And there's my little staple. And then that's where I add my bling, is at the top. Now, where did my bling go? Here it is. I thought I lost it. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with the jade this time. I did the bumblebee on the top. I'm going to do the just jade. Let's see. I'm going to start right here. I added 3. And then that's going to tuck right in here. And there's card 1. And we're going to do the same thing with card number 2. Okay, so let me just leave these here in case somebody else is still working. And let me dig out, I'm going to dig out all of the stuff for number 2. And we already have the sentiment all done. I just want to make sure I'm not going too fast. You guys let me know if I'm going too fast, if I need to hold off before I start card number 2. Oh, and you guys, you should see the project I have planned for next month. I wish I could give you a sneak peek, but you're going to love. It's not a one-sheet wonder, but it's kind of gauged to go that way. I think we're making, was it 6 cards? Anyway, I have a really nice project set up for next month. And thanks to those of you guys that are signed up for the sampler already. I can see a lot of names on my list already. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing the winter samplers. We need something to do during the winter months, and then we can keep it out for 2 or 3 months as a decoration. So I love that part of it. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. So again, it's the same thing, but this time we're going horizontal with it. Let me go over the measurements we need. So 5.5 by 8.5. Again, I'm using Pretty Peacock. Same white for the inside, 5.25 by 4. Let me go over the designer paper for the base itself. So the same paper, and this one measures 5.25 by 2.75. Again, this is just the same sheet, just flipped over. And then this one is 1 by 5.25. So this part goes with the card base. And for the insert, I have Pretty Peacock 4.5 by 3.5. White 4.25 by 3.25. Another little stitched rectangle with the rectangle dies, and then a small sliver of designer paper 1/2 inch by 4.25. So these are the insert parts. We're going to start out with the card base. So we need to score. This time we're scoring at 1.25. The flap is a little smaller. And 4.25. So 1.25 and 4.25. And we are all done with our scoring tool. Now we're going to go ahead and fold in half like we did on the first card. And again, you're going to fold the flap in the opposite direction. So there's what your card base looks like. And we're going to do some more corner rounding. Now this time it's on the long side, the 2 top corners and the 2 flaps. So each end you're going to use the corner rounder on. I can't wait to see what you guys do with these cards. Oh, I also want to talk a little bit about our Christmas card swap. So you guys, the mail service has just been terrible. A lot of people have not received their swap cards yet. Be patient. Just an example, Stampin' Up right now. So here it is, December 23rd. Stampin' Up is working on orders from December 12th, I think. So what's happening with Stampin' Up, in case some of you guys don't know, when a UPS truck arrives to pick up the orders, Stampin' Up is only allowed so many boxes per day to send out. So they have no choice but to hold all of the orders. So they only have a certain number they can ship daily. So that's why the orders are taking so long right now. Stampin' Up is not doing anything wrong. It's because of UPS. They're overwhelmed. And we can all understand that. Things have been so different with COVID. Okay, so now we're going to round the 2 top corners of the white on the long side. And I even have packages that I mailed out for my Merry Christmas Club that are still not delivered. It's just been crazy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue the white to the inside. Again, before we add our tear and tape, because you would not be able to slide this in. Okay, where, you know how I just chuck everything when, okay, here it is. I couldn't find my tear and tape. We're going to add 2 pieces on each side. And my bone folder. If If you guys have a hard time peeling the backing off your tear and tape, this really helps because it warms up the adhesive underneath when you do this, when you burnish. And then it's just so much easier to pick up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and fold that down. And then again, now you have your little pocket all made up for your little insert. Now we're going to go ahead and use the corner rounder on the little strip and just do 2 ends. We're all done with the corner rounder. We're going to go ahead and glue that on the flap. And then we're going to glue the second piece of designer paper. Oh, Diane, yeah, she stocked up on snail during the sale. I did too. I had a huge box show up yesterday with my snail. I still use my snail quite a bit, even though we have the new adhesive. I just love the snail. A lot of people didn't, but I do. Okay, so again, we want the flap to pop up, so we're going to use dimensionals. I'm just going to add 3 on the edge because this flap is not as wide as the first card. And we're going to flop that down. So look how pretty that is. Now, let's see. These are too short. Hopefully I have a piece long enough. I don't think the rest of my roll is cut, so I should be all set. We're going to wrap the ribbon around the flap all the way around. Let's see how my tails end up this time. And I've said this before, whenever I do a wrap around like this, I don't cut my ribbon off the roll when it's all on the roll. I just wait till I'm done, so that way I don't waste any ribbon. Okay, this one came out pretty good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut my ends. And I'm just going to move that over to the left just a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to hold off, make sure I'm not going too fast. We're almost done, actually. And I'm so excited about next month. I just wish I could show you what I'm doing. You guys are going to be so excited. I hope you plan on joining in. I love it when you guys join in with me and stamp. Okay, again, because we have the bulk in the center, we're going to add dimensionals to the top and the bottom. That way the ribbon is right in the middle of the dimensionals and it doesn't add any bumps. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that a little different. I just remember this flap is a little bit not as wide. I'm going to add it around the ribbons, do it backwards, and then we're going to press it in place. That makes more sense, don't you think? Okay, there's my sentiment. Now we just have the insert left to do. Oh, we do need the corner rounder again because we need to do the insert. So we need the top and bottom of both layers. Then we're done with the corner rounder. You guys keep talking about my paper. Aren't you jealous? Don't you love this? I'm just gonna wait a little bit for everyone to catch up. So guess what? When you do the paper share, for those of you doing the paper share, you get 2 packages in your paper share, 2 quarter sheet packages for free, just for joining my share. And this is one of them. Okay, now we're gonna do the sentiment right at the bottom. And hopefully I'll get it centered this time. Okay, I'm not gonna talk just for a second so I can focus. There's my sentiment. And we can go ahead and glue that to the base. So this is going to be insert number 2. Then we've got the designer paper. And again, I'm pretty much gluing it where the curve ends. And that way there's enough room there to put the little tab. So there's that. And we're going to fold this in half. Press it down with the bone folder. And grab my stapler. Now, let me see. That's going to go right in the middle. Move it over just a tad. And then we're going to staple it. Okay. We need some bling. And again, I use the Just Jade on this one instead of the Bumblebee, just to add a different color. And I am going to pick a name. Probably tomorrow I'll announce who the winner is. You'll get a set of cards. So there's insert number 2. And that fits right in there, just like that. Actually, I'm gonna put these here so you guys can see them. I'm gonna leave the insert out on one of them. Okay, there's my cards for today, everyone. So I hope you guys will give this a try. I'm anxious to see what you guys come up with. And let me see. I won't be on again until next Wednesday. But please, if you have questions on the paper share, the Merry Christmas Club, what else did I announce? Oh, and the winter sampler. Let me know. Just private message me or leave a comment on this video. I do read all your comments. I don't have time to comment on everyone, but I do read them all. So have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for joining me today for Stamp With Me. Bye-bye.